All right, welcome back. We are diving straight in today, looking at the top 10 international football predictions for September 8th, 2025. Let's see what the data has in store for us. You know, it's the question every single fan is asking right before kickoff. Who's going to come out on top? Who are the underdogs we should be watching? And most importantly, where's the real drama going to be? Well, we've got some numbers that might just give us a sneak peek. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. This isn't just a hunch or gut feeling. We're doing a full breakdown of the top 10 predictions from the data powerhouse Goal. This is what the cold, hard numbers are telling us about today's biggest matches. So first up, let's look at the teams that are supposed to have a pretty relaxing day at the office. These are the clear-cut victories. The ones where the data isn't just predicting a win, it's predicting total, absolute dominance. And check this out. The data is feeling pretty confident about these 5 teams. You've got Morocco and Scotland, both predicted to grab solid 2-0 wins on the road. Croatia is expected to do the same at home. Then you have the grinders, right? Guinea-Bissau and Uganda, both forecast to gut out those tough 1-0 victories. So what's the one thing that connects all 5 of these predicted wins? It's this big, beautiful number right here, 0. That's how many goals the data says these teams are going to let in. We're talking a perfect defensive showing across the board. And in football, that's what we call a clean sheet. You know, it's more than just a stat. It's a badge of honor. It means your defense was a brick wall, giving the other team absolutely nothing. And believe it or not, the data says we're in for 5 of them today. Okay, so we've seen the heavy favorites. Now let's flip the script and go to the other end of the spectrum. This is where the real tension is, where you'll be on the edge of your seat. These are the battles on a knife edge, the games that are just too close to call. Now, close can mean a couple of different things, right? On one side, you've got your narrow wins. This is where a team just barely scrapes by, maybe with a late goal. And on the other side, the deadlocks. These are the all-out wars where both teams just refuse to give an inch. And yup, we've got both flavors on the menu today. Tunisia is expected to squeak by with a 2-1 win, a lot like the Algeria and Guinea matchup. Then you've got a whole bunch of stalemates. We're talking 3 different games: Mozambique versus Botswana, Madagascar versus Chad, and Malawi versus Liberia, all predicted to end 1-1. Seriously, if you live for drama, these 5 games are going to be your go-to. All right, so we've looked at the individual stories, the blowouts and the nail-biters. But what happens when we zoom all the way out and look at the whole day? It's time to crunch the numbers and get a bird's-eye view of what's expected. And when you look at all 10 matches together, a really clear pattern pops out. The data is heavily leaning towards a decisive result. A full 70% of the games, that's 7 out of 10, are predicted to have a clear winner. The numbers are basically saying we're going to see a lot of celebration and not a lot of shared points. But here's where it gets kind of wild. When you break it down by the exact score, the 2 most common predictions are polar opposites. You've got the commanding, no doubt about it, 2-0 victory, and it's showing up just as often as the tense, gritty 1-1 draw. It really tells the story of the day. It's either going to be total control or a total deadlock. And of course, all of this brings us back to one of the great truths of sports, the data. It gives you a fantastic script. It's a roadmap. But it's the passion, the human element on the pitch, that actually writes the story. The numbers can't predict a moment of individual brilliance or a sudden mistake that changes everything. So I'll leave you with this final thought. We've got the roadmap. We have the predictions. But which one of these 10 matches is going to be the one to just completely tear up that script and give us something nobody saw coming? That's the magic of the game, and honestly, that's why we watch.